And welcome back, everyone, to our losers match here for Group L of the FX Open Invitational Series. I am Unstable, joined here by Railcoon. We're going to go into it. It's going to be Incredible Miracles Yonghwa against Immunity's Mafia. Of course, both of them with the IM tag. Thankfully, they are slightly different. It's going to be a PVZ here, even though Mafia's tag says he's Protoss. Alright, so we do have up here at the top right, we have Immunity's Mafia as our Blue Zerg. He's opted for the hatch first down into the third as per normal because of the frustrating bump. Oh, why did you turn around? You could have killed that drone.
Yeah, I have no idea why he didn't kill that drone. Like, Mafia kind of reacted late. Oh, he's coming back. Killer probe. Oh my god, run away!
That's too close for comfort right there. But of course, down here at the bottom left, we have our red Protoss is going to be Incredible Miracles Yonghwa. And Yonghwa's a very strong player. I think people underestimate him quite a bit, especially in this matchup. But when we saw Mafia play against Mario, his nerves got a lot better of him. Like, he was doing the correct things, but he just couldn't execute them properly. And I know, like, the things that Mario was doing, like, I know he's a very, very strong Terran player, but he wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary that shouldn't be stoppable. But it was just, like, misclicks by Mafia, and then like the Overlord coming down off the high ground. That was very unfortunate as well. But he's going to go for the 3 hatches before gas now, which is very standard. The Queen's going to start walking his way down to the her way down to the third, and we're going to have Mafia sit at the front of this ramp. He just needs to keep tabs on this probe, see where he's going, so he doesn't get caught off guard, and he should be fine. So it looks like we're going to have like this. This is the longest game we've seen from Mafia so far. Yeah.
Wow, you just went there.
Yeah, I did.
So, yeah, just waiting to see how long he delays his gas, because, you know, this opening can be varied a little bit just depending on how greedy you want to be. You can delay the gas for quite a while and get a whole bunch of queens and just drone really, really hard if you think your opponent isn't going to get aggressive on you at all. And he is still delaying the gas, so it looks like he's going to be doing that a little bit at least. But when we saw Hyun play in this matchup, he only delayed it a little bit and then got his gas just to get a roach horn out just for safety while he was droning really hard, so that while he was scouting around very nicely, he could make emergency roaches at any time, and it helped him out. But Mafia is just straight up playing the really greedy version of this, and we'll see if he gets punished for it. It doesn't look like Yonghwa is doing anything crazy. He's making sentries. He's playing rather defensive. His extra gas are starting to go down now, but he's only got 1 extra gas on the way, so it's going up to 3, not 4. There's a robotics facility. Yeah, it doesn't look like Yonghwa's going to be applying a lot of pressure early on.
Yeah, that's very true. And it's going to come down to what kind of build is Mafia going to go for. Is he going to go for your Mutiling Star? Is he going to go your regular Roach, Roach Infester? Not Roach Infester, you know what I mean. But there is a Zealot coming into the mineral line here, just to be frustrating. There is no Zerglings, there's that 1 Queen, and Mafia's now like, well, hang on, what the hell just happened here? He's losing 1, 2, third drone, he's trying to run it away. Is he gonna get away? Yes, he is, just barely. But still, it's something that's like, hang on, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's not something you expect to have happen at that point in the game. Normally, if somebody's doing that, they're doing it a little bit earlier. And it was good, just because Yonghwa did that at such an unexpected time. It caught Mafia completely off guard, got a couple drone kills. He saw that there weren't any gas here, and I don't know if he's scouted the third base yet. No, he hasn't seen the third base in a while. So he knows that if he checks the third base, he'll know that there's only 2 gas. One of the things that Zerg players have been doing is varying where they build their geysers, which is really nice, making it really difficult for the Protoss player to scout the number of gas. But we do have a Warp Prism on the way. This is becoming more and more standard for this matchup. Just use it to apply pressure, warp in Zealots everywhere. He's super annoying, and it's very effective, but he might actually do a sentry drop. There's another sentry about to pop out. He'll have 4 sentries. Oh my god, see a sentry drop. These are awesome. And Mafia does have some pretty good map vision. He's got Overlords spread out all over the place. So, unless he goes all the way around towards the third, I think this might get spotted. But it looks like he might go towards the third. If he swings around under this Overlord, he could actually sneak by and not get spotted.
Oh, looks like he's going to come in with some Zealots at the same time. He's probably going to dart forward a little bit, warping around units, dart forward a little bit more. Or he could split himself up. Looks like this Warp Prism is going to the main.
Watchtower. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he could probably just drop a sentry there to clean up that Zergling. Oh, no, he's going to drop them all. He's going to give that away. Interesting. But I have a feeling I know what's about to happen here, Railkin. Right? I have a feeling 4 Zealots are going to go into the third, 4 are going to go into the natural. Nope, never mind. They're all going to go there.
All going towards the third. He's concentrated attacking. He doesn't care if he's showing what he's doing. He's going to drop and try and force field the reinforcements away from the natural, but he's not able to do it fast enough. Oh, but he'll try and just force field the roaches in to try and kill them, but I don't think he has enough units to do that.
No, he does have quite a lot of Zealots. You're right. Nice control here by iM'Mafia actually picking them up. The Zealots are doing quite a bit of damage to a lot of these roaches, but it looks like iM'Mafia is going to have to back up here. And I'm surprised, like, if he'd split up those Zealots left, like, 1, 2, 3, like I thought he was going to do. Like, I thought he was going to do 4 Zealots to the third, 4 to the natural, and then go into the main and do that Warp Prism, the Sentry drop. I think that could have done amazingly well. But either way, he's still going to secure a third base now. And Mafia will see third, but at the same time, Mafia did a really good job of knowing when to create those roaches to deflect that aggression. He's now 50 supply up. He can be aggressive onto this third base to stop it going up for iM'Mafia as well. And that's going to be really difficult for iM'Mafia to actually stop. He's going to have to find some way to get that third base up and running.
Oh, the Warp Prism just flew right over the roaches, too. It's actually stopping. He's considering what he wants to do with it. It's just sort of chilling there.
Yeah.
And Mafia, while he's applying pressure, can even just go for fourth base, which he's doing right now as well.
We do see that Warp Prism going into the main, though. He needs to be careful. A lot of these sentries and stalkers coming down to the third base for iM'Mafia, but there's a mortal there as well.
He didn't expect that Warp Prism to have stalkers in it, so he's actually trying to kill the queens. He might be able to do so. They're running away. Queens might go down, but at the same time, he is taking some losses at the third base from these roaches.
He has to retreat. He's losing all the sentries with the energy on it. And look at this. I love how Mafia is just sitting here. He's like, well, the only real reason I came over here wasn't to actually try and kill you, but it was to try and stop this third base. There is no reason why I should go up that ramp and actually engage with you. I can just delay as long as I can. The Zealots, the Stalkers in the main have been cleaned up by the Speedlings, which is a nice touch.
He killed both the queens and then actually lifted them all back up in the Warp Prism. So that was actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Mafia thought he could clean that up with just a few Zerglings and the queens, but you don't expect the 4 stalker drop. That's not a thing that happens very often. So it caught him by surprise. They lost both the queens in the main and the natural. They are being reproduced now, so they're going to pop out and inject. But he missed like a full round of injections from that. And there's not much anti-air on the field. There's finally a Spire being made. But because of the fact that there's only just a few queens around and not much else, this Warp Prism has pretty free reign. To go wherever it wants.
Well, I have a feel I just have this feeling that it's going to change. That Spire is there for some mutas as well to try and get control, not just to finish off that Warp Prism. Mafia has the extra gas down at this fourth base now here, remember, Railkin, so he's going to be able to pump out a lot of gas. There he's got, 66. Okay, there's definitely mutas coming out now then. He's going to switch in a mutaling. That's the only reason to get that many.
Energy. He actually isn't chrono boosting anything at all. His main nexus is completely full. Like he's been.
Whoa! Hang on. Sorry to cut you off there, Railkin, but we do have a lot of roaches going down here at this third base. He's engaging a little bit too soon because the Zerglings aren't here yet, and Mafia is banking up 2,700, 1,500. So he's going to go straight into these mutas. The spy was there. It is 16 mutas in production, and this is going to work out well. There is blink, and with a lot of sentries. But
he did use up a lot of energy with those roaches, though, so this could work out kind of in his favor, because he just traded the roaches for a lot of sentry energy, and that's a lot of Zerglings with a bunch of mutas about to pop out as well. Yeah. He's not going to have that many force fields to be able to deal with the mutaling, which is really important. But I'm really surprised iM'Mafia is still just maxed out on his energy, not using it on upgrades at all, or even really anything. Yeah. He's just not chrono boosting anything.
Well, Mafia is now taking a fifth base, so he's going to have a huge economy. He still has quite a bit of a bank. He can try and engage this army now. He has enough Zerglings to make it worthwhile. The Immortals are going to be next to useless. He can't throw down in force fields forever. It looks like he's going to come into the main, force a lot of Stalkers to be made there. And look at this, the Zerglings coming into the natural now, Railkin, and we got the mutas coming in from behind as well. Needs to be careful not to get flanked here, though. And from the high ground and the low ground, that's exactly what's happening right now. Nice blink by iM'Mafia, and looks like we do have the Zerglings moving into the third base. Is he going to try and get a surround on this Nexus and target it down? No, he's being a little bit indecisive. And I really think he could have killed half that army if he just tried to engage it in this watchtower in the middle.
Yeah, by the time that he decided he might want to go for it, iM'Mafia got it up onto the ramp where the rocks were, and there's no way he could really get a decent surround. He definitely missed a few opportunities to just go for the full surround on the army, force the Stalkers have to blink out, and then he'd take out all the really high value units like the Sentries and the Immortals.
Well, and we do see Storm on the way now in response to this. We also have +3 attack on the way as well. And this is going to really be devastating. The problem with Mutaling is as soon as Storm comes out, you pretty much can't be aggressive anymore. You need to tech switch. So I do like the fact that we've got Pathogen Glands being researched, Baneling Speed, and we've got the Hive on the way. But I don't think he has good chances actually attacking into this. So a lot of the Stalkers are actually out of position, which is great for Mafia right now. He's going to be able to target down a lot of these sentries, but we do see, he has to back up a little bit. Zealots now in the front, more force fields going down here by Myonghwa. Really well done. And look at that, he's out of sentries now, but now High Templars and Mafia just saw them and went, whoa, hang on, is there Storm?
There's no Storm because he hasn't been chrono boosting it. Oh my god, if he had Storm there, he could have completely destroyed that army. He started chrono boosting Storm when the Templar got there and he didn't have it done yet. But I mean, if you look at his Nexus, his third Nexus is almost full. He used 2 chrono boosts there at the end to throw one onto the Storm and onto the upgrades, but I really feel he could be utilizing these a lot better. His upgrades would be way better.
Well, Muters coming back in. Oh, nice Storm. Hits those Muters there. For Myonghwa, I just made the blank on who he was, but we're gonna have a blink under these Muters. A lot of them on such low health, and this is the problem. Once Storm is out, these Muters really start being frustrating to try and micro. But we do have Zlings coming into the third base yet again, but with the +3 upgrades coming out here, and Storm's on all those Lings, and now it's Mafia's in a really tough spot. He needs to tech switch, needs to get out of this because the Zealot Templar Stalker mix here is just shredding through his army. He's got Great Aspire on the way. He wants to go to those Broodlords, but he just can't really fight this army straight up here at the moment. He needs to be also, really careful.
Look at his upgrades. For this kind of really heavy Zergling style, he's only got 1-1. Normally, if you're going to do this, you really want to focus on getting the melee upgrades out as fast as possible. Never have any downtime on that. Get to +3 really quickly. But he hasn't done that, and he's actually behind on upgrades. It's 1-3 versus 1-1. 2-2 is on the way, but it's pretty slow. So that kind of not focusing on the upgrades enough doesn't really match with the style of play that Mafia is doing. Otherwise, the Zerglings would be doing much better. And now he does have 7 Infestors about to pop out. He's now making a bunch of Banelings. But that is going to dry out all of his gas right before his Greater Spire finishes. So I'm a little bit curious about that.
Well, he needs something to defend himself right now. That's the problem. The Broodlords are going to be quite a while off because Great Aspire is going to finish. Corruptors have to come out. Then the Broodlords get morphed. And he's really worried about Myonghwa actually pushing 40 because they are both maxed out, remember. We have 4 Templar in total, 6 in total on the field, sorry. 4 with this main army. And they are just going to shred through everything. If he can get some nice force fields off, it's going to be really difficult for Mafia to actually defend against this. And here we go. We do see Mafia moving forward now. There is actually no sentries in this army at all. I'm actually quite surprised about that from Myonghwa. He could actually do it quite a bit. But we just see a fungal going down. Whoa, these storms, everything's running through the storms. The Muters, oh my god.
The Banelings got completely shredded. Oh
everything
my god,
just got shredded.
Those storms were disgusting. That was completely ridiculous. The first storm went off and Mafia just turned around. He did a good job of baiting that first storm, but that second wave of storms was just gross. Now he's trying to remax on Zerglings, just emergency. Oh my god, need units. There's more than 100 of them on the way. And this is just pure Stalkers. This is a little bit dangerous. All of the supporting units are gone. There aren't any Templars with this anymore. If the Zerglings can get in here, some good surface area, they could actually kill a lot of units.
Well, the Stalker count is just so high, especially with Blink. And he's got the upgrade advantage as well. I don't think it's going to work out too well for him. Looking at the resources lost, 9,000 to 25. Myonghwa just playing so effectively against this unit composition here. He's going to have 4 bases. He's got Fleet Beacon finishing up as well. He's got these Stalkers taking out this extra base here for Mafia. And it really came down, he just couldn't. Mafia did not trade anywhere near as well as he needed to in that last fight. And now with the Blink control coming in from Myonghwa, there's no way he can save this extra base. He's going to be down to 3 bases, so 1 base behind the Protoss. He's going to have...
really rally his Zerglings properly. He made like 100 plus Zerglings and half of them died before all the rest of them were out. Like he really wanted to get all the Zerglings out, go for one huge surround, and he never really did that. He could have killed a couple of the Stalkers, enough to make Myonghwa hesitate. It wouldn't have stopped the attack, but it would have made him stop and think, do I really want to keep attacking right now? Like, how many more Zerglings are going to be popping out?
Yeah.
But there are now Infestors and Broodlords and Zerglings on the way, so he's hurting. He's only got a few minerals left at his 3rd base. He's going to be able to try and get his 4th base back up and running, but he's going to have at least some army to try and stand up to Younghwa, but he's just so far behind.
Yeah, he's 65 supply down, but like he played really, really well up until that one engagement that he just got completely slaughtered by those
Yeah.
storms. At the same time, Yongwe playing very passive at the moment. He's got his mothership on the way, extended thermal lance as well. And that's the frustrating part about this position. Like you see these Protoss players, they just play so defensively. It just doesn't look really fair at points. Like, you got cannons everywhere. So
it was just a really not a great decision from Mafia to try and run through the center like that because it's so narrow. That's probably the best defensive place for Younghwa on this map to be fighting him, besides the ramp leading up to his natural. Like it's a very narrow path. The entire army trying to funnel through there without flanking at all is just like storm heaven. And he just charged straight down blinders mode, like full on berserker. There's a sentry walking right into the enemy army. Full energy sentry just walked directly into the enemy army.
Because he can.
I don't know, man. I mean, if you want supply, there's better units than a full energy.
Well, he was killing off zealots and stuff as well. But here we go. It looks like we are going to be moving forward now. We do have Templars in the mix here. Where is the mothership is lagging a little bit behind there. Nice feedbacks on those queens against those broodlords, and there goes the storms. He's just forcing all of the ground support away from these broodlords, and even more storms going down. Feedbacks on all of those infestors as well. Just like it was extremely one-sided win the supply to begin with, but just crushing through that army here. For Younghwa, it is going to be GG, and Younghwa takes game number 1 here for this losers set, and a much better game coming out from Mafia than the first couple of games we saw from him, so that's not really good, but it just came down to that one engagement. He was playing really well up until that one time where he just could not engage, but that's what happens when you go mutiling against some storms. You have to get out of that tech switch, but we'll be right back with game number 2 and see if Mafia can bring it back. Stay with us.